Bachelor of Economics in International Economics from Chulalongkorn University, and he got two master degree, one master degree of economics from Western Michigan University, and another one is master degree in operation research from Western Michigan University, United States of America. Now, Khun Thak is the Vice President in Joint Venture Project and International Trade, Midpon Sugar Groups, and he is also the Subcommittee Advisory of Senate Committee, Thai National Assembly, and committee members of GMS, Great Mekong Sub-Regions, Business Forums from the Thai Chambers of Commerce. Okay, today Khun Thak will give a lecture on the foreign direct investment strategy of Midpon Group. Okay, if you have any question, let's ask him.
Okay, I think that, okay, all of you are the economics, right? Your subject is international economics, or you not decide yet what is your subject going to be?
Entrepreneurial economics.
Entrepreneurial economics. So you got the different kind of subject, and what you got to go back and ask yourself that what you're going to make money for living in the future. The subject is sound interesting, and I think that your future is paved the way with the right time that you are choosing this subject, because we are entering to the world of the globalizations. You probably hear a lot of lecturers saying about the globalizations, but actually Thailand has been globalized since Ayutthaya period, right? If you notice that since Sukhothai, the pottery of Sukhothai go everywhere in the world. That is the international trade that happened. Do you know why the fall of Sukhothai is? Because Sukhothai earning the money from pottery, and pottery trade are transport logistically passed to Ayutthaya, and from Ayutthaya they go out from the Gulf of Thailand and distributed to the Malayu, distributed to the Middle East. And then Ayutthaya had been charging the duty of the Sukhothai pottery that passing by. So the pottery became more expensive. After the Ayutthaya are charging Sukhothai the duty or the fee that they had gone through that. So Sukhothai have to find another way to transport their pottery to the other way around. So they are taking the inland transport from Sukhothai and go straight to the ocean, which is passed to Mae Sot and go to Mont Lamang. And from the Mont Lamang, they will transport to the Andaman Sea to the west. And what happened is the pottery that they transport to the inland had been failed of transportation. So the failure of Sukhothai and Srisachanalai is the evidence that the industry is no longer sustainable to maintain that business. So this is shame, You just notice the history, there's something rise and something fall. So how can we be able to sustain the business? Especially you have to compete to the out of the world, right? I just giving the history example to begin with, and you are the Kasetsart student, and I think this case will be more appropriate to the agriculture, which is the bread and butter of Thailand today, right? And the objective of my lecture today that I want to share with you and give you the example of the 50-year or 5-decade experience of the Thai family business that go to the world. the Midport Group had been started out about 50 years ago as a family business. It's a widow who are the head of the family. Her name is Fa, Mae Fa, and she runs the business with her 8 children. And today, the Midport are the 5th largest sugar producer of the world. And the story that I will tell you that how can the family business that growing and became the global business and standing to be compete the global in the global arenas. And that is the agriculture. So my objective to explain you to learn about how you make the business sustainable. Actually, there's nothing are lasting forever, but things are changing. But you want to be sustained, you have to be adapt to those change. And I will be explain you throughout the value chain of the sugar, which is the bread and butter of Thailand. What is the major export of Thailand? That you probably say rice, right? And then sugar, tapioca, all those crops are bread and butter of the Thai people. Maybe it's not the big money like automobile, it's not the big money or like electronic, but those electronic and automobile is not our technology, it's Japanese technology, Taiwanese technology. But this is our culture, and our base and butter and our base is a real sector of the Thailand. Okay, let me go walk you through the Midport value chain and the sustainable world forward, and then I will talk about the challenge and strength. So you see that, this presentation I'm making the leaf of the sugar cane like an infinities. What is mean by the infinity? They are recycling, they are sustainable. You look at the whole of the infinity line, and you see that we have the group of the sugar here. We have a sugar group here, and we have the what they call is renewable energy. Right? The sugar can make renewable energy, and here that you have the particle board. The particle board is something like this, that your table or the cabinet that you are using right now. When I grew up, there are the real wood, but there's no wood left enough to supply, so that this is been changed to substitution of the wood, and this is come from the fiber of sugar cane. And this thing that we also invest in China, we invest in Laos, and we invest in Australia. And also this, we have the research and development. Moreover that, we also been taking care of the, what they call the sugarcane field as well. Okay, this is what the sugar, if the sugarcane is something that you never know what the sugarcane has been giving to the business. So that you have to look to the backward linkage and the forward linkage business of the sugarcane. That is make the value chain. You have to get used to this term, the value chain, right? When you understand the value chain of the sugar, you maybe understand the value chain of the other crops. And then that became the kind of thought to you in the future as an agriculture or being a Kshet Science student, right? So you see a lot of the picture that shows the same thing that I had been addressed. And this is the process that I want you to know, that from the field of the sugar cane here, that you go in the sugar cane. Sugar cane is like a family of the glass, right? It's just the glasses, right? It's a big glass. No, it's not the glass that in your yard. It's a big glasses. What the sugar cane gave, of course, is all the sugar, right? And you see the variety of the sugar that we have been produced by innovating, we have the mainly white sugar, caramel sugar, we have the brown sugar, we have rock sugar, we have we call it like paste sugar. You did it for some time is sugar paste, is naptan put. And we have the sugar for the diet. This is good for the people who have a diabetes or the people who are on the diet, because this sugar is only take your body is only take 1/6 of them to the body, and then it's left over that is passed through. And we have the syrups, right? The sugar is come like the sand sugar, right? It's come from like a grain sugar. It come from like a pear sugar, but actually that you can use the sugar as a syrup as well. So that is the other innovation. It's more creative that we use is like a flavored sugar syrups. Those flavored sugar syrup will be like a cocktail mix, desserts, or there's something like a flavor of the caramel, the flavor of vanilla, and the flavor of the nutmeg that you put in the coffee. So this is the innovation variety of the sugar. That is the sugar cane you give directly. Then when you crush sugar cane, you got the sweet sugar juice. Then you have the what is maintained. I don't know that you see the sugar cane, right? And then when you saw the sugar cane, you chew the sugar cane and left over is a fiber. Basically, you throw those fiber away, right? Because it's not waste. It's no sweet at all. But we not throw those fiber away. Those fiber of sugar, when they did it, it's huge amount of the fibers of sugar, and we call it bagasse, and we call it waste. But we turn this waste to the good. How we turn this waste to the good? Then actually is those fiber, put it with the glue, and we make a particle board, right? And then the leftover fibers, that's quite a lot amount of them, we are using as a fuel to burn. We burn those fiber, and we burn it to boil the water, right? It's go to the boiler system. And when the boiling water, you get what? High pressure steam, right? And the pressure steam go where? Go to the steam turbine, and the steam turbine generate electricity. So that is the feedstock of the bagasse will go to generate electricity. And the electricity partly are used in our production facility, and the others leftover we can export to the public, sell it to the EGAT, the electric authority, to supply to the public for electrical use. Such as in Khon Kaen province, we supply about 50 megawatt that can be served the whole city of Khon Kaen. So the 50 megawatt is quite a big amount of the electricity that we generate to the public. Well, what is left? When we make a sugar, we also have the molasses. What is the molasses? In Thai, we call it gak namtan, right? When you have the syrup, right? The syrup from the sugar, we have to boil those syrups and purify those syrup, and then you get the pure sugar. You make the sugar either in the syrup form or in the grain sugar. But the leftover is like a residue of the sugar we call the molasses. Before that, the molasses is the waste. We don't know what to do with the molasses. So the molasses basically go to use as asphalt. You know the asphalt, right? The asphalt is the leftover of the refining of petroleum. Asphalt is yamatoi. They used to pave the road, right? in the past, the molar also mixed with the asphalt to paving the road. But today, the molars are using to make the ethanol. Ethanol is the alcohol. Because of the molars, we'll have the containing of the some sugar that left in the molars. And we put the yeast in the molars. You know, the yeast will eat the sugar that left in the molar and turn it to what? After the yeast digests the sugar, it's turned to the alcohol. And we refine the molar that had been mixed with the yeast, and we get the pure alcohol. And those pure alcohol, 99.9%, will be mixed with the benzene, and it's called gasohol. This is a gasoline that we put to the car and the engines, right? And how many percent we have the gasohol today in the market? Do you know that? Anyone are driving or you take a bicycle? I saw a lot of bicycle there in the campus. So if you're driving the benzene car are applied for the gasohol, and there's a gasohol E. E is mean ethanol. E10, that means 90% are benzene, 10% are alcohol mixed. E20 is mean 80% are the benzene and 20% is gasohol. Then some of the new car models, such as Honda, Volvo, they said can be compatible to E85. That means you can use the ethanol or alcohol up to 85%. So when you go to the service station, notice there are E10, E20, and E85. If you fill up your tank with E85, but subject your car be able to take that E85, that means you're helping the sugarcane farmers, right? Because instead of you paying the Middle East country or the OPEC country for the crude oil, but you are paying for the Thai sugar farmer, okay? Okay, since I would like to talk about the economic corridor a little bit, because you are international and here that everybody here know what's going on about the AEC. You know what is an ASEAN Economic Community, you know that, right? If you know that, I will be very upset, okay? The economic communities is an ASEAN, is comprised of 10 countries, but any of you know about the GMS? Just raise up your hands. Who know about the GMS? Nobody raise up your hands. That's great to all the lecturers. Do you know GMS? G is mean greater, M is Mekong, S is sub-region. The greater Mekong sub-region is the economic cooperations among the country or the city that Mekong River passed through. Do you know Mekong River originated from China? And that one province of the China called Yunnan, right? And Kunming. So that Mekong are created from the Himalaya and created from the China area. And Mekong River go through what? Burma or Myanmar, Laos, Thai, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So this is called Mekong basins, right? And these countries are putting together, comprised of 6 countries. 5 of them are the member of the ASEAN. Those are Burma, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Easily that you have to get used to this term. We call it CLMV, right? And plus T is Thailand. And the other 2 states of China is the state of Yunnan and the state of Guangxi. Okay? Why I talk about this? This is an inland ASEAN, right? Most of the ASEAN, there are islands or peninsula, but these are the inland ASEAN that have a great development. In the past, CLMV had been, when they were young, those are the socialist or the communist country. But today, that in the year of you are growing now, that you never know what is the communist country or the socialist country is, right? So the communist country or the socialist country like the CLMV has been closed their country for a long time. I think it's like about 30 decades or over 30 years that those countries have been closed. So the connectivity is missing, right? So the development of Mekong sub-region is to make the connectivity among this country happen. And the China, Republic of China is very smart because Chinese want to participate with the ASEAN and want to participate with the Mekong sub-region. So the Chinese policy, the central Chinese government has been ordered the Yunnan province or the Kunming to be participate in the GMS. And also aside the Guangxi, which is the Nanning city that you see here. This is the Yunnan. The yellow one is the Yunnan on this side. And this is the Guangxi. So these two provinces of the China are joining the GMS because Chinese want to be linked and connectivity with the ASEAN and with the GMS, with the Mekong basin. Okay? Why I have to talk about this? Because this had been played a major role of the developments of the ASEAN community and the international investment in this region is very, very exciting time. Because the development that you see, the red columns, is the development of the linkage of the inland transportation. That linkage from north to the south. This is called North-South Economic Corridor. So in the past, to travel from Kunming to Bangkok, it seemed like impossible. But today, that you can drive from Bangkok to Kunming. Actually, the road is ready now, but there are a few of them are missing link. But the bridge over the Chiang Rai is already complete, so that you would be able to drive to Kunming, right? And then Kunming can be driving to here. So this is a North-South Economic Corridor. So the city along the road will be developed differently. There will be a lot of the special economic zone. There will be the development of the industrial park, and there will be a development of industry, right? So that is an opportunity for the Thai businessman to be invest along the corridor. Either invest in the service industry, production, or invest in the logistics, right? The other corridor is the East-West corridor. That if you recall, that I've been addressing at the first place that Sukhothai had been sending the pottery out to the Botlaman, which is, this is a city. It's a city facing the Andaman Ocean. So the East-West corridor is the linkage of Andaman Ocean to the South China Sea. So you see this red box, right? This is the East-West, or we call it EWEC corridor. So another corridor is the, the Southern Corridor. Anyone hears about the Y? Tawai. Tawai is where? From Kanchanaburi to Tawai is about 200 kilometers. But there's no road there yet. And the government have the project to build the road from Kanchanaburi to Tawai. that will be linkage Thailand to the open West, right? And then what is Tawai linkage to? Tawai will be linked to Kanchanaburi, to Bangkok, to Sak Kaeo, to Lam Chabang, go to Sak Kaeo, go to Aranyapathet, to Cambodia, to Phnom Penh, and all the way to Ho Chi Minh City. So this is called Southern Corridor. So, but it's not in this mapping, but this is the new corridor that the GMS will develop. So right now, you know why I have to talk about it. Only invest internationally across this south, north, south, east, west, south corridor. It's big enough for you to study, and it's all variety of opportunities. What is the government has been announcing in the past 2 months is what they call is SEC, right? The Special Economic Zone. What is a Special Economic Zone? It's a zone that promoting the investment, right? And those investment will be subject is like a promotion of the investment. There will be the tax benefit, there will be the labor benefit, there will be what the special zone for logistics, for what? For distribution, for production. Where are those economic zones now? There's a 5 economic zones that the government had been announced already. Those are, one is Mae Sot Myawaddy, right? So Mae Sot Myawaddy is here. Mae Sot Myawaddy is the connecting of the East-West corridor. Then the other one is Mukdahan and Savannakhel is here, the other end of the economic corridor, which is in Mukdahan province and Savannakhel of Laos, right? It's connected to Laos and Vietnam and the port city of Vietnam called Da Nang. If you've been to Da Nang, it's like little Singapore. Right now, it's a little Singapore now. So you know, Vietnam are walking after us, and the development are very, very high and very growth. And Singapore are the one who play the major role and invest a lot in Da Nang. Who invests in Da Nang? You know that? Who invests in Da Nang? Samsung from Korea already invest in Da Nang because Korea said they're not going to Thailand because Thailand is the base of the Japanese. They have to find the other base and they go to Vietnam. Samsung is based in Vietnam. Daewoo is a car maker of Korea. They invest in where? Invest in Laos, in Savannakhel, which is our special economic zone. And that area they call Savannakhel, the special economic zone in Laos, and there are Sawan Seno. It's Sawan Seno, it's not Sawan Seno. It's Sawan and Seno here, that means news, north, east, west, south, but in French, Noir, and something like that. And there are Seno, S-A-N-O, is not east, west, south. It's news as well. Okay? New is not east, west, south. So Sawan Seno is Swan, not east, west, south. It's like a central of the all from north and east and west and south. It's a central of Laos. So that is the special economic zone. They are falling here in the corridor here. Okay, I have been saying the Thai special economic zone is Mae Sot, right? Mukdahan, and the other one is Sak Kaeo, is around here. Sak Kaeo are on the southern corridor, come from Tawai, Kanchanaburi, pass to Bangkok and go to Cambodia, and go to Ho Chi Minh City, the South Vietnam, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. Where's the other 2? The other one is in the south, Hat Yai, Padang Besa, right? And the other one is what? Trat province, go to Cambodia, right? So there are 5 initially, but they are planning to announce how many? 11, right? Special economic zone. This is economists you must know because it's your future. It's your job opportunity in the future. You may be not able to work in Bangkok anymore. You may be working in the special economic zone in the future. What I have to do with the sugar, Thailand sugar belt are falling along the East-West economic corridor because this is a facility that our group have on the economic corridor. We have, basically we have the sugar in Phú Luông, right? Phú Luông is in Loei. Loei also on the East-West corridor. We have Phu Vieng. Phu Vieng is at Chayapur, right? We have Kalasin, right? We have Phu Kieu, Chayapur, Phu Vieng at Khon Kaen. And we also have invest in Lao, which is Savannakhel. It's nearby Sawanseno, whatever, okay? So you see that our sugar belt is along the East-West corridor. So we already in the GMS developments, right? And we also have a joint venture company called Method Clean Energy, only pure produce electricity from the sugar bagasse, and we produce the ethanol from the Method Clean Energy. It's a joint venture between Thai Oil Limited, Public Limited, and Padang Industry and Midport Group. This method, we also only produce the ethanol. And last but not least, we also have sugar cane produced in the center in Suphanburi and Singburi as well. So this is our operation in the East-West corridor in Thailand. Okay, 20 years ago, Midport Group have been moving our production base in China. It's 20 years ago, so we already go ahead of time, right? 20 years ago that your guy not born yet, right? Who are over 20 in this room? No, right? Oh, you are? So you're not too over 20, so that before you was born. So our China operation had been founded since 1993. And that year that we are set up the company in China, which is in what they call the Guangxi province. When I talk to you, I walk you to the Guangxi province or in Nanning, right? These are the provinces in the GMS, right? If you recall, that China want the Guangxi to be a part of the GMS development, right? So we also follow the theme of the world in the development in Guangxi, right? Actually, we invest first is 13,000 tons per day. 13,000 tons per day is not big, but right now that our crushing capacity is how many times? It's about 5 or 6 times, right? Our capacity increased to 82, and our sugar production is 1.1 million. In Thailand, is 2.2 million, and we are the second large sugar export of the world. So the sugar that we are produce 1.1 million, we supply China, and we are the second market share of the China sugar supplier as well. You know that, basically, the sugar in China are producing from what? From the sugar cane? No, they're producing from the sugar beet. Do you know the sugar beet? You know mangkao. You know mangkao, right? The sugar beet is like 10 times bigger than mangkao. It's like sugar beet, it's about this big. And it's not growing in tropical, it's growing in the cold weather. And they only grow the sugar beet once a year. And then after that, after they harvest the sugar beet, they're producing the sugar. But the sugar cane, you can grow sugar cane all year long. And the sugar cane have the fiber to generate electricity, to generate the steam, to use in the system, and left over to sell to the public. But the sugar beet cannot. That's why the sugar produced from sugar cane, we have more value chain than the sugar beet. Okay? So this is the operation in China. So the pictures telling the story that I show you the location of Guangxi with the southern China, with the weather can be warm enough to grow the sugar cane. Okay? And when we move to China, this is like 10 or 20 years ago that you see the buffalo that you probably hardly see in Thailand now. And we allow that the buffalo are using in the field. Why? What is the model are different here? Because Chinese had been ruled by the commune or the communists, right? And what does the communist do? The communist is like, this is the whole piece of the land, divided by the number of people. So individually we get, or each family will get the land. So that there are many people, so the plot of land in China for the farmer will become very small, right? So when the plot of land became small, what kind of labor they use? They're gonna hire the labor? No, they use their family labor, right? They can buy the equipment, big equipment? No, they cannot. So they use whatever they have. They use buffalo. At that time, they have that buffalo. So we are adapted to whatever the culture are, right? So 20 years ago, that we go to China, we purely produce the sugar cane, the sugar. We produce the sugar cane and produce the sugar. And the bagasse, which is this one, is what? In the value chain, we should be able to what? Generate the electricity, right? This is the steam turbine. So that we use the sugar cane fiber or the bagasse to generate electricity and sell electricity to the public. Okay, I said that 1 ton of the bagasse, industry-wide, they can generate about, you said the 1 ton is 1,000 kg of the bagasse, can generate about 20 units of electric. But our group can generate about the 80. Why the same amount of the bagasse generate different electricity? Because we use high pressure bar to generate high pressure steam. And the high pressure steam use the more efficiency turbine to generate more electricity to the system. So, but it's come with the big investment. It's come with the big investment. So if you want to be efficient, you got to invest, right? Because the industry not invest, they generate only 20 units, but we can generate up to 80 units if you are invest high technology or the state-of-the-art technology. That means you burn the same amount of the bagasse, but you get more electricity. That innovation, that is the efficiency way of the use. Okay, this is come to your call of learning. What is the key factor of success of our group that moving to China? I think the first one is a must. To be blend with the culture and the community of the China. Okay, we are using the China that we are the similar background. And the background of the people who living in the southern China is not different from us. Actually, that if you look at the face, they're quite the same, right? Because we all some that we are the Chinese migrated family, right? So that we use this similarity of the Asian background and learned. But you have to learn a little bit. The different city have a different culture and have a different belief. So we have to be, that I use the word, adjusted and blend with the culture and communities. So this is the key success. Before you going to invest or doing business, what you need to have? You have to be expertise first, right? You have to be good in something, right? If you want to do the coffee shop, you have to know how to make a coffee, right? If you want to be the good businessman, you got to get the MBA, right? If you want to be the good economist, at least you get the economist degree, right? So you have to be good in something. It's a 50-year experience of the Midpont Group that coming from the sugarcane farmer to the manufacturing, that we have been built up our expertise of the 50-year experience. We invest in the research and development in variety of the sugar, that we know that the sugarcane in which variety can go well in the different weather, right? In the north, the weather is cooler and the sugarcane is a tropical. How can you adjust the variety to grow in the environment that temperature are lower than the tropical? Because in China, the temperature are lower than here in the central basin. In the central basin, there's more water, and then sugarcane might be growing in the water. And we have to develop the variety that grow well in the water. Or if we grow in the sugarcane in the highland, we have to research what kind of variety of sugarcane can be growing very well in the highland, which is more dry. So if you are interested, you want to visit, we have a research and development center, and we do the stem cell, and we are doing the variety of the sugarcane researching. So this is our strength and knowledge of the sugar industry. Then you go everywhere. You have to balance all the stakeholders. What is the stakeholder here? You have employee, you have customer, you have community, you have government. Why you have balance all this? The employee who work with you got to get the decent pay that they earn enough to live, right? If you with the company and company pay you lower than the average, you'll probably be leaving that company sooner or later, right? So you got to have enough pay, you got to have the well training, you got to see your career path that, okay, you're working as an economist, and the other day you became the senior economist, and you became a manager, you became what? Vice president or the president of the company. So you see your career path. So the employee have to be happy. That's why that we have to focus on the employee. We have to focus to the customer, because customer expect from us is what? The good quality of the sugar, right? On-time sugar, available sugar, right? Because you think like, what is the customer of the sugar? Is something like Coca-Cola, right? Food industry, and Coca-Cola have to be producing every day, right? It's like an ongoing processes. And if we shut off the sugar, they have to shut down their process. What is make that they destroy their business? Then the student like you go to the vendor, there's no more Coca-Cola for you to drink. That's the damage, right? So that the total supply chain have to be smooth. This is what customer want. And what the community, because your location are, we also do the plantation, right? So we have to operate with the farmer. We have to understand what is the farmer need. The sugar cane that they take to the mill got to have the fair price for them, that they can be able to survive as a sugar cane farmer. Then the community allow the manufacturing have to be the environmentally safe, that they have to make sure that they live around the sugar cane mill, that someday we not blow up our plant, or we not discharge the waste water to their clean to their liver, right? Where they have to make sure that they are environmentally safe, and then we not disturb them by the smell, we not disturb them by the air, we not disturb them by the wastewater. And the government, both central and local government, when the company make money, what they need from them? We need to pay taxes, right? So the government have to get the tax from the company to develop the country. So if you balance all these stakeholders, then that is the key success, that whatever that you go, you will be welcome, right? So this is the key success. And actually, the fair treatment to the employee, that you not say that, okay, this is Thai employee, this is foreign employee, you got to treat the employee the same. And you have to believe the people that we also invest in Laos. We believe that we have to develop the Laos people to be able to become the manager in some day. We invest in China right now, 20 years later, we have the China supervisor, we have the China foreman, we have Chinese engineer running the facility. So you have to believe in people, and you have to be trained and develop their career. So this is the four key of the success for the international business investment. So this is our next country that we invest is the Laos People's Republic, right? So the Laos that we went to Laos in the year 2005, which is about 10 years ago, not so long. And when you invest in Laos, we invest we call it like a new grassroots. You understand this term, new grassroots? That means you have a green field. We invest in China. We take over the existing manufacturing, and we invest more to improve or upgrade that manufacturing to become the Midport Group. But when we invest in Laos, we just got the empty land. This land never be growing the sugarcane before. Or this land is like purely, is the jungle, is not the plantation. We have to develop the ground, we have to make the road, we have to on the ground to get to develop it to become the sugarcane field. We have to build manufacturing. We have to lay out the infrastructure. We have to lay out the facility. So the Lao development is take a while from 2005 until the first operating is 3 years after that we have enough sugarcane for crushing. And you see that the Lao development is slightly different from the China development. And I show you the picture, you see the buffalo. In Laos, the concession in Laos, we get the land concessions by awarding by the government. So the plot of land is what? The government said, okay, this area, this province, we give it for you to the plantation. So it's a big piece of the property, it's a big piece of land. And how many Laos population is? 6 million. Maybe 1 million running to Thailand for the job. Another 1 million is a child. Another 1 million is elderly. Another few millions live in Luang Prabang and live in Vientiane. But we are located in what? Savannakhel, right? Opposite Mukdahan. So that's not many people. That's not many labor available in Laos. People are misunderstanding that if you go to Laos, actually that you're not searching for the labor. Because the reason that we go to Laos, because we have the similar land, and Savannakhel also in the same belt of the sugar. That means that the weather's environment and the climate is the same that we are growing the sugar. But actually the labor is not much. You see that we have to invest a lot of mechanization, right? We have to invest about the tractor, we invest about the harvest, we invest of the plantations, equipment, now you see what is the difference that you go to the different environment and different investment of the country. That's why, to go back to that one, you have to be understanding and adjusted, right, to the environment that you are investing. This is our transport and crushing. I just give you the idea that you know how the sugarcane facility look like, okay? And this is the sugar that we are producing in Laos, and then we make the brand is Mid Laos, right? And this is the brown thing here is all the sugar. It's huge like a mountain. And 90% of the sugar that we are producing in Laos, we export, because the Laos have only 6 million population. And those 6 million population, only 5% of the sugar produced are consumed in Laos, which is this one. And about 95%, 90 to 95%, we export to what? We export to the EU market. You know what the EU is? The European Union market. Why we export to European market? Why we have to be in Laos? Because it is the GSP. Do you understand the term of the GSP? The GSP is a duty extent for less developing country, because Laos is in the list of least developing country. So the EU will give the quota for the sugar import. So this is our group has seen the opportunity in Laos. Not only Laos is our next door neighbor. Not only Laos have the property for growing sugarcane. Not only Laos having the climate, but that is the tax benefit and the quota benefit to export sugar to the European country as well. So this is the business driven of the investment. So see, when I'm talking about the value